Silicon Valley is not just rich, it's the wealth creation machine of the modern world. Think about this. Apple alone is worth over $3 trillion, larger than the GDP of entire United Kingdoms. And Google, Tesla, Meta, and now Nvidia have all exploded in value by trillions of dollars in the last decades. This is where the internet was born. HP, Intel, Cisco built the first tech giants here. Now we're in the age of AI, and the valley is once again ground zero. The money pouring in is staggering. Mark Zuckerberg reportedly offered AI engineers $1 million salary, and some of them even said no. And that's how wild the talent war is. Meanwhile, the median household income in Santa Clara County is around $150,000, double the US average. The median home price, about $1.8 million, and that's the middle class by local standard. So if $1 million paychecks and $2 million homes are normal here, what does ultra wealthy looks like? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. The enclaves where Silicon Valley's billionaires, heirs, and power players live. If you were to drop a pin right here in the heart of Silicon Valley's wealth, it'll probably land on Atherton, just a mile from downtown Menlo Park, minutes from Sand Hill Road's venture capital Hills, and only 10 minutes from Stanford University. Atherton sits quietly in plain sight, but only if you know where to look. And that's the magic of Atherton. At first glance, you don't see much. There's no downtown, no restaurant, no strip malls, and the entire town is residential. It's designed that way because here, the ultimate luxury isn't another nightlife spot or boutique places, it's privacy. And drive down Atherton's wide, tree-lined streets and you'll notice the tall hedges and iron gates. Most people never even catch a glimpse of the homes inside, but behind those gates sits some of the most spectacular estates in the country. At the entry level, around $7 million, you'll probably find a beautifully updated ranch-style homes on an acre lot, something you'll be hard-pressed to find anywhere else in the Silicon Valley. But once you step into the $20 to $30 million range, you're looking at properties that blur the line between homes and private resorts. Picture 15,000 plus square foot of living space, soaring glass walls that opens to infinity pools, underground garages for 10 plus cars, wine cellars, spot wings with saunas and cold plunges, and cinema-grade theaters. Many estate adds full guest compounds for extended family or staffs. While Atherton itself is intentionally quiet, you're only 5 minutes to Menlo Circus Club, which is the most exclusive social scenes in the peninsula, 10 minutes to Sharon Heights Golf and Country Clubs and Stanford Golf Course, and 8 minutes to Stanford Shopping Center, which has Neiman Marcus, Hermes, Louis Vuitton, and Apple stores. And top private schools like Sacred Heart Schools and Menlo Schools are right here. And with San Carlos Airport nearby for private aviation and quick hop, plus SFO and San Jose Airport within 30 minutes. That's what makes Atherton so unique. You get the privacy and seclusion of a retreat, but you're still only 30 minutes away from San Francisco, 20 minutes from San Jose, and just minutes away from the heart of Silicon Valley's tech scene. It's perfectly positioned for someone who wants the best of both worlds. A total escape, but with unmatched conveniences. And then there's the neighborhood itself. Atherton is home to household names like Stephen Curry, Sheryl Sandberg, Eric Schmidt, Mark Zuckerberg. It's a community where privacy is respected because everyone values it. If Palo Alto is where the big ideas are born, Atherton is where the fortunes gets packed. And if you want the full breakdown on Atherton, I've got a separate video just on that. Check it out. I'll put a link in the description. Of course, Atherton represents the peak of new money prestige, but just a little further up the peninsula, there's a town where wealth has been part of the history for over a century, long before Silicon Valley even existed. Set in the hills just south of San Francisco, Hillsborough feels a world away from the tech scenes. First, what does it take to live there? Well, the minimum home price there sits around $5.5 million, but Hillsborough's real treasures are its historic mansions. the Mediterranean villas, Tudor castles, and French chateaux, including the legendary Carolines, a 98-room palace that rivals Versailles itself, and at the very top end, $20 million and above. It's where Hillsborough truly flexes its prestige. A perfect example, earlier this year, Bing Crosby's former estate on Jacqueline Drive sold for $25 million. This isn't just any homes. It was a Spanish revival masterpiece on nearly 3 acres with over 9,800 square feet of living space, soaring beams of ceilings, and the grand living room framed by arched windows. The manicure grounds feature gardens, a pool, and a guest room, blending old Hollywood glamours with Hillsborough's timeless prestige. But it's not just the real estate deals that grab headlines here. In 2017, local resident Tiffany Lee set a record-breaking $35 million bail in a highly publicized murder case. It became one of the highest bails in the U.S. history, paid in cash, underscoring just how deep the fortune runs in this community. So why do rich people prefer Hillsborough? Well, this is because Hillsborough's wealth predates the Bay Area's tech boom, a place where fortunes were made before Silicon Valley even existed. A century ago, the railroad tycoons and the San Francisco's banking elites built sprawling estates here, and those legacies still shape the town today. There's no downtown, no apartment, no commercial district. Every inch is reserved for private estate, often on multiple acres, many designed by world-renowned architects in the early 1900s. It's timeless prestige. Family came here not just for wealth, but for continuity. The quiet, tree-covered hills, the exclusivity, the proximity to Burlingame's charming downtown, San Francisco's financial district, and even private jet access to San Francisco Airport, all of it adds to the appeal. Within a short drive, you've got the Hillsborough Racquet Club, the Crystal Springs Golf Course, and the Peninsula's Country Club. For shopping and dining, the Burlingame Avenue is lined with luxury boutiques and high-end restaurants, while Stanford Shopping Center is just down the road in Palo Alto. Put together, Hillsborough offers a level of convenience and lifestyle that feels less like Silicon Valley and more like stepping into a page of the Bay Area's history. And the neighbors? Well, it's a mix of wealthy and famous. From celebrity chefs like Martin Yang to actress Alicia Silverstone to legendary Hong Kong superstars Bridget Lin, it's the kind of community where global icons live quietly behind the gates, adding to Hillsborough's mystique. But while Hillsborough is about prestige and heritage, some of the Silicon Valley's wealthiest want a different escape: space to build ranches, vineyards, and sprawling compounds. For that, you head west. Oh, quick note, I'm Boji He. I live and work right here in the Bay Area, and I help clients buy and sell homes across the Silicon Valley, including in some of the ultra-wealthy enclaves. Beyond that, I make deep dive videos on Bay Area's real estate, lifestyles, and market trends. So if you are enjoying this breakdown, hit the like and subscribe button and stick around. I've got plenty more to come. Drive 20 minutes west from the heart of Palo Alto, and suddenly the landscape changes. Windy roads, redwood groves, horse trails, and open space preserves. This is Woodside and Portola Valley, where billionaires trade glass towers for ranch-style estates, and where wealth expresses itself not through marble foyers, but through privacy, acreage, and an almost rural calm. What makes these towns different? Lifestyle comes first. Both are magnets for those who want to live in Silicon Valley but escapes its intensity. Miles of hiking and biking trails waves through places like Wunderlich Park and Windy Hill Preserves. Horses aren't just a hobby here, they are part of the culture, with equestrian centers and private stables dotting the landscape. Even the local watering holes, the village pub in the Woodside, it's Michelin starred. Yet it feels like the kind of place you would wander into after a trail ride. Real estate here is about land. The median house price is around $4 to $5 million, but that number hardly captures the story. Estate ranges from contemporary glass retreats tucked into the hills to sprawling ranches on 10 or 20 acres to vineyard properties that look straight out of Napa. At the very top, $20+ million buys not just a home but a lifestyle. Think infinity pools overlooking redwood valleys, private vineyards, and barns reimaged as a guest house or yoga studio. And yes, the neighbors are every bit as famous as Atherton or Hillsborough. Larry Ellison has a long tie here. Steve Jobs once lived in Woodside, and today you'll find tech leaders, venture capitalists, and even old money families who's been on this land for generations. Portola Valley especially has a quieter, almost academic vibe, popular with Stanford faculties and those who want understated wealth. So why here? Because Woodside and Portola Valley are the only places where Silicon Valley's power players can live in true seclusion without giving up conveniences. Stanford University and Sand Hill Roads, the epicenter of venture capital, are just minutes away. San Francisco, San Jose airports are both within reach. Yet at home, you might hear owls at night, not freeway traffics. This is the Bay Area's version of Aspen or Jackson Hole. Country living with billionaire addresses. For those who want privacy, space, nature, Woodsides and Portola Valley are unmatched. But not every millionaire's dream of horses and vineyards. Some want slick hilltop mansions with panoramic views over the entire valley, and that's where the next on the list comes in. If Atherton is the front row seat of Silicon Valley, then Los Altos Hills is the private box. Just 10 minutes from Stanford and Google campus, this is where the ultra-wealthy retreats into the hills for space, for quiet, and for views that stretches from San Francisco Bay all the way to Mount Hamilton. The town is unusual by design. No commercial zones, no downtown, not even sidewalks in most cases. It's strictly residential, and zoning laws require minimum lot size of 1 acre. That's why driving through Los Altos Hills feels almost rural. Narrow, windy lanes leads to estates hidden behind olive grove and vineyard. But make no mistake, this is one of the most expensive markets in the country. The median home price hovers around $5 million, and at the very top end, 30 million plus contemporary compounds command the ridge lines. What sets Los Altos Hills apart is its architecture. There you'll find some of Silicon Valley's most striking modern builds. Glass and steel pavilions with disappearing walls, infinity edge pools, an underground garage that can fit 20 cars. Many homes here are designed to blur the lines between indoor and outdoor living, perched high enough for total privacy, but close enough to commute to Palo Alto and Cupertino in minutes. The community itself values seclusion but not isolation. Residents can join the Fremont Hills Country Club for tennis, golf, and horseback riding. Foothills Nature Preserve and Rancho San Antonio offers hiking right at your doorstep. And when you want fine dining or luxury shopping, downtown Los Altos and Stanford Shopping Center are just down the hill. Neighbors, they're as elite as it gets. Sergey Brin once lived here along with other Google founders and top executives from Apple and Meta. You'll also find old money families who bought hillside ranch land decades ago and never left, blending quietly with the new wave of tech billionaire elites. So why do the rich pick Los Altos Hills? Because this is a rare place where you can own an architectural statement piece on acres of land, enjoy panoramic views, and still live minutes away from the heart of the Silicon Valley. It's a combination of privacy, prestige, and convenience that makes it the ultimate hillside enclaves. But while Los Altos Hills dazzles with futuristic hilltop mansions, there's a neighborhood down below where prestige comes from traditions, intellect, and being part of Silicon Valley's very soul. If Los Altos Hills is about retreat, Old Palo Alto is about being at the center of everything. The historic heart of Silicon Valley's wealth, just a few leafy blocks away from Stanford University. Old Palo Alto is a neighborhood where the past and future of the valley quietly live side by side. This is where some of the most prestigious professors, scientists, tech minds live, and their ideas are changing the world every day. This is one of the few neighborhoods where street names are famous. Waverly, Bryan, Lowell's, to name a few. The lots aren't sprawling like Atherton, but that's the point. Here, exclusivity comes from being woven into Palo Alto's urban fabric, where you can bike to Stanford University, walk to University Avenue's cafe, or sit under a 100-year-old oak tree in your front yard. Price? They're staggering for the land size. The median hovers around $4.5 to $5 million, but at the very top end, $20+ million estates trade hands for homes on barely half an acre. That premium is all about location, being at the intellectual and financial nexus of Silicon Valley. Old Palo Alto has an understated charm. Instead of glass palace, you'll find Spanish colonials, Mediterranean villas, and craftsman homes from the early 1900s. The streets are wide, shaded, and walkable, filled with families who value proximity to top-ranked Palo Alto schools and cultural life that comes with living next to Stanford. Of course, this is the neighborhood of Silicon Valley legend Mark Zuckerberg. Not only he lived here, but during his stay, in true billionaire fashion, he didn't just buy one property. He quietly bought out several of his neighbors' property for privacy. In one case, he reportedly paid $11 million for a home worth about half of that. It's a story that perfectly captures old Palo Alto's gravity. People will literally pay double just to control their surroundings in their neighborhood. Steve Jobs' modest home on Waverly Street is still being visited by Apple fans from around the world. The Hooley and Parker sets roots in nearby neighborhood, making this ground zero for Silicon Valley's tech boom's original story. What do residents get beyond real estate? It's a lifestyle. Within minutes, you've got the Stanford Shopping Center, Stanford Theater, Michelin-star restaurants like Protégé, and cultural institutions like the Contour Art Center. It's also one of the few luxury enclaves where you can live a suburb lifestyle but still feels urban. Coffee shops, farmers markets, and bike lanes are part of daily life. So why do the wealthy choose Old Palo Alto? It's about legacy. This is where Silicon Valley started, and it's where the brilliant, game-changing ideas were born and brought to the reality, and where today's tech elites want their kids to grow up. You don't buy here just for the houses. You buy into the history, the walkability, the intellectual energy, and the cultural prestige of the valley itself. And just to clarify, Old Palo Alto is just one neighborhood. For the rest of the city of Palo Alto, from Professorsville to Midtown and beyond, I have a full video that covers the entire city, so definitely check that out in my channel. If Old Palo Alto represents professors and pioneers, then further south, Saratoga and Los Gatos reveals a different side of wealth, a state designed for families, lifestyles, and communities. Head south into the foothills of Santa Cruz Mountain and you'll find three towns where Silicon Valley wealth chooses to raise families: Saratoga, Monte Sereno, and Los Gatos. Tucked along the bases of Santa Cruz Mountain, the south of Cupertino and San Jose, Los Gatos and Saratoga sit side by side with Monte Sereno in between, the enclaves that quietly attract Silicon Valley's biggest fortunes. Saratoga is known for its vineyard estate, scenic biking trails, and Michelin-star dining. Families price it for top-ranked schools, while home buyers come for privacy of hillside properties, many trading between $5 to $10 million. Los Gatos, homes to Netflix campus, on the other hand, offers a mixture of small-town charms and high-dollar estates. Its walkable downtown is full of boutique shops and wine bars, but just up the hill are gated compounds that can sell for $20+ million. Monte Sereno is a small residential neighborhood that is sandwiched between, with multi-million-dollar homes on the hills. So why do wealthy people prefer Los Gatos and Saratoga? Well, unlike Cupertino or Sunnyvale, where high-pay engineers compete for million-dollar homes, these towns are where the leaders of these tech companies are choosing to live. Think Chuck Robbins, the CEO of Cisco Systems, or Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple. They don't need to commute every day, but when they do, it's a short drive to the valley's tech campuses. And when they want to unplug, the Santa Cruz beach is just over the hill. It's a perfect blend of prestige, lifestyle, and conveniences. And if you want the deeper dive on Saratoga, I covered that in a separate video. Make sure you check that out. I'll put a link in the description. So there you have it, the ultra wealthy neighborhoods in the Bay Area. Now, of course, there are other ultra wealthy places with just as expensive homes too. Places like Sausalito, Tiburon, Mill Valley, or San Francisco's Presidio Heights or Sea Cliffs. But in this video, I focus more on the suburb south of San Francisco, where Silicon Valley wealth really shaped these communities. But in the future, I'll be making separate video diving into those communities as well. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you hit the subscription button. Once again, this is Boji He, your local Bay Area real estate expert. And if you're thinking about buying or selling homes in the Bay Area, or just want to better understand how the wealthy really lives, that's exactly what I cover in this channel. So hit that like and subscription button. And when you're ready to make a move, reach out to me directly. I love to help with your local real estate goals. All right, that's it for now. This is Boji He. I'll catch you in the next one.